Hey, fellow barbecuers, welcome back to Kelly B's BBQ cooking and fun show. Listen, again, thank you for watching our previous episodes. As I always say, I hope you enjoyed them. More importantly, I hope you learned something. I'd like to introduce my best buddy from high school, who's my partner when it comes to cooking. He helps me cook in competition. He also helps me do some catering. And he's here today to help me get some ribs ready. We're going to do some baby back ribs. If you don't like baby backs, look at that. That is a beauty right there, all right? If you don't like baby back ribs, you're either from Texas, sorry Texans, or you're a vegan. That's all I can say, okay? Not trying to offend anybody, but it's a fact. Now, when you prepare a baby back rib, there's several things you may or may not know. As you can see here, we've got a little bit of fat on there. Sometimes you can pull it off, just like I did there. Some of it needs to be trimmed off. You don't need to trim a whole lot off because you want a little fat on there. But when it's just a flap of fat or something like that, go ahead and get rid of it. There's a membrane on the back of your baby back, okay? This membrane runs right here. You don't want to cook a baby back with that membrane on there. It becomes tough and makes your ribs chewy. So here's what we do. We take this paper towel, a paper towel. The paper towel gives you grip. All right, and you just grab the end. I usually start with the small end of the baby back and just grab it like that. Okay, see it? Watch this. How simple, how beautiful, how easy. Okay? So I'm going to strip these membranes while Dave puts my rub on. Again, my rubs will be coming out soon, both on the website and hopefully a local grocery near you. My rub has a lot of sugars in it, some peppers in it. Not hot, doesn't make it hot, but really gives it some little robust flavor. So when your paper towel gets a little slick because of the juices from the meat, just go ahead and get a new one. Which this one's about there. Well, we're able, nah, split on me. There we go. There we go. Voila. Don't want that on there, that's for sure. Dave, let's get those sides real good. Dave thinks I'm bossy.
I won't tell you what his wife thinks.
Lucky woman, my wife, boy, I tell you. All right, now look at this one's going to come off real nice too. This got a little fat on it that I don't really like, so I'm going to cut it off. Put that over there for Davy Gall.
It does make it look good.
Yeah.
Good color.
Yeah, let's get a little on this side over here, my friend. That's a beauty.
Oh, look.
All right, looking good. All right, let's. We got the smoker fired up. We're gonna start putting some meat on. How's that sound? Try to not have your ribs touching each other. You want to try to keep them separated as best you can. You really can't spritz them too much. All right, you can see here where that bone is just starting to peek out. See right there? Ooh. So I think what we're going to do is go ahead and wrap them because I think they're ready. All right, let's see how those ribs are doing, everybody. I think we're ready to pull them and get them wrapped. Nice. Woo! Didn't put my gloves on. Want to make sure it's long enough so you got some wrap on the end of it, okay? Now here are my 3 sauces. We've got a spicy, sweet and spicy, and sweet. Today we're going to use sweet and spicy on these ribs. Sweet and spicy is my biggest seller. Obviously, it's a nice in between these two. Spicy was my original because I like spicy. But for competition, I had to develop a sweet. So what we do is we take this rib, put a little of that sweet and spicy sauce on there. A little bit more. There you go. And then brown sugar, dark brown sugar. Okay. Sprinkle that on there. Try to get all the clumps out if you can. Brown sugar has a tendency to do that. Okay, put that on there, and then we're going to add honey. Just kind of zigzag it across there. All right, then we paint. Just mix it all together. Paint a nice little coating on there, get the sides. And I do both sides, okay? Now, I normally do not advocate putting sauce on food. To me, if you've read some of my blogs and some of my comments on your emails, sauce should be the eater's choice. And I'm in the sauce business. But when you go to a restaurant and your ribs or your brisket or whatever comes to the table just slathered in barbecue sauce, they're hiding bad meat. But what we're doing here is we're really creating more of a glaze. I'm not smothering it in the barbecue sauce. And when we wrap these and put them back in, you won't even see the sauce. It's just kind of becomes a glaze because of the brown sugar and the honey. So Dave, let's go ahead and do this side. Perfect. A little brown sugar. Honey.
Yes, dear.
Yes, honey. Thank you, honey.
There you go, dear.
All right. Paint it on. So as you can see, this isn't slathered in sauce. It's just a nice thin coating. Want to make sure you get it on the sides. There, isn't that pretty? All right. And then we wrap. We wrap the same technique. You may have to put, 2 on the bottom, 2 on top, whatever. There we go. All right. It's been a good cook today, boys. We're going to add some wood to the fire. I hope you like my little technique of the barbecue sauce, dark brown sugar, remember dark brown, and honey. Paint it in there and wrap it tight. Throw them back on the grill. I didn't explain what they'll look like or when you know they're done. And again, it's a practice thing. Probably in another hour and a half to 2 hours they'll be ready. But I'll pick them up and kind of do this with them. And if they're a little flimsy, they're ready, okay? Leave them wrapped, they'll continue to cook. You don't want to overcook them. Another thing about pork ribs that a lot of people don't know. You hear it all the time. Oh, those ribs were so good. The meat just fell right off the bone. Well, let me tell you something. Most people like it that way. But in reality, that's an overcooked rib. A perfectly cooked rib is when you bite into the bone, or bite into the rib, and you get a perfect bite mark, but the rest of the meat does not pull out. But the bite that you're taking pulls out, and there's bone, clean bone. So there's no meat left there. So you've got a bite mark, the rest of the meat stays intact, and there's a clear, clean bone behind that bite mark. That is a perfect rib. To do this, You suck that meat off, it's okay if that's the way you like it, but that's an overcooked rib. So, just a little advice from Kelly B's BBQ. Ribs is one of my specialties. I love cooking them, and even more so, love eating them. So, David, here's to baby back pork ribs.